Hey guys, Shanel DC here, and I am a variety gaming channel, and I'm here to decide that I quit Gacha games. Yes, and I will explain the history of my history of Gacha games and why I've finally decided to wanted to quit it. Now, this channel was never intended for it to be Gacha games, which I mean, if you look, it's not. But you can see here and there, I had played other games, indie games, back and forth with gotcha games. Like, I won't say Genshin Impact. No, I used to play that game, but I quit it. And my main games was zenlesszonezero, was recently NTE, but I'm changing my mind on that. It was Wuthering Waves. I completely stopped Wuthering Waves. I'm not gonna lie. Once a game gets to that 3.0 phase, I'm burnt the fuck out and I'd be tired of the game already as it is. So by then I'd be already ready to just eh, let it go. Because it'd just be too much for me to handle. And before I actually get in depth explaining that, I am glad that I am at 100 subscribers. I did not mention that. I don't even think I'm going to make a separate video for it, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful for it. Even though I'm doing it late because right now my sub count is at 110. I literally met the 100 mark on Monday, the 20th, and today is the 24th. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. But we're gonna get into it. Okay, so obviously around COVID and things around that time, Genshin Impact, of course, when it came out in September 2020. Yeah, and I didn't start the first day, but I started it nearly when it became a week in the game had released. Now I loved the game at the time. I enjoyed it. It was something, new for me. And I was playing that game for a while, and obviously, the highly anticipated Inazuma. Now I was excited about that. I really, really, really was. But the moment when they did finally release Inazuma and things like that, I will be honest, it was very lackluster. And by the time and I had higher expectations. And by the time that Inazuma did come out, I was already like in and out of the game. Like I started being inconsistent, stuff like that, which I already was inconsistent previously because I didn't get Hu Tao. I didn't get her. I got Kaching after her banner came up. For some reason, they wanted to put in for 1.3. They had Shao, and then they wanted to have a banner for a standard character, which you notice they never did that shit again. Anyways, forward to Inazuma, back and forth playing the game and being inconsistent and playing the game, not playing it, whatever. Then I think 3.0 came around. I don't think I was already as consistent when I played that game, but I did the best that I could. And then I stopped playing the game again. And honestly, like after 3.0 and stuff like that, like I was just bored. I didn't care about the new Dendro mechanic. That's the reason why I came back to the game, for 3.0. But it didn't change the fact that the game didn't really have that much depth to it. So I quit it. And plus, clearly, the developers and stuff like that don't really care about their gamers that much and things like that. So next, Honkai Star Rail. I when it was turn based and things like that, when it first started, oh my god, I really love Honkai Star Rail. Like in the beginning, like in the story and everything, I was so excited. Like I'm telling you, I was so excited. And I don't even play turn based games. And when I did play it, I was like, this is something different. I fuck with this. But when did I'm trying to think, when did it start getting boring for me? I was around the 3.0 phase, but it was already prior. It was already getting to the point where I was like, eh. I think it was definitely 2.0 because I still was enjoying it in that 1.0 phase, so I don't think it got there just yet. And while I was playing Honkai Star Rail, I was playing Wuthering Waves and Honkai Star Rail back and forth and things like that. And then Zenless Zero, which I did enjoy that game, which that game kind of led me to like stopped playing Honkai Star Rail as much, it started becoming just like not fun for me anymore. And then Wuthering Waves was it was like inconsistent thing. It was like I played it, it's inconsistent. Like that game, I was more inconsistent with. Period. Not more than Genshin, but I was definitely inconsistent. Even with moments I did try to like be consistent with the game, that game also it just became too much for me. Like I feel honestly when it went into the 3.0, it just started to just become just too many different characters, and also like the 50-50 thing, like the not having the guarantee of having the character. I don't fuck with it. But last year I remember I was starting to do like, Wuthering Waves content, Honkai Star, not Honkai. Well, I did one video of Honkai Star and I stopped. So that was around like 3.0, and I just couldn't do it. And obviously with the stories, the characters, the lack of depth in the storytelling, fuck no. And you know what was crazy? Around that Penacony phase, I loved it to a certain extent because I started noticing like the errors and shit. Eventually, I let Honkai Star Rail go. I don't remember when, but I did. It was around that late 2.0 phase. I tried coming back in 3.0 to see if I, fuck with it or not, but it made me realize that I still don't like the game like that. Even if I try to not do the story, even if I just try to just pull for characters, I'm good off of that game. For real. I'm not playing. And that's sad too, because I actually really liked Honkai Star Rail at one point. Like, that was my session, but no. But yes, last year I started doing, some content with Wuthering Waves and zenlesszonezero. But it was never intended. I just kind of just went ahead and did it because it was already something I was doing on the side. Like I'm already playing the game on the side. So I was like, okay, it's not too bad. Let me go ahead and while I'm in a financial crunch, while I'm like kind of like going through it financially, let me go ahead and use this game since I already played the game and since I'm already like in depth in it, might as well. Biggest mistake because this channel was really more so for me what I want to do was like indie games, popular games, games that are more entertaining, and I'm just gonna say that honestly, truly. All the games that you see that I play, other than these gacha games, those are the games that really give me joy, genuinely. There's other games too, like other Pokemon games I want to play, but I just haven't yet because I need the right chord for it to capture. But anyways, this channel was never intended to be a gacha game channel. Not to say that I did make it that way, but you look at the history, it could give that impression while still seeing other games being played or other games being showcased when you're looking down on the list. But it was never intended for the gacha games to be part of it. I just did it because I was going through it financially at the time, and I was already playing the game already. Eventually, I started to lose passion with zenlesszonezero too. Yep. Even though I think the storytelling in ZZZ is more polished, more better than Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact. I still hit that plateau. I still hit that point where I didn't really want to play the game like that. And the Angel of the Illusions, those were the characters that I really, 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 really want. And I did get them all, and I do have all their W engines, but I expected a little bit more out of their animations. I won't lie. I did, but it's whatever. But I don't know, like for me personally, like the other characters that have been coming out, like Yashwan, is that how you say her name? If I not pronounce it right, I don't give a fuck. I just pop her on the screen and you know who I'm talking about. I don't really care for her design or Lucia, like, and what's that other one? Yudhari, like, why? Why? Why are you repeating the same shit? Like, I get it, like, in a sense where, I kind of want to entertain people with the goon shit and stuff like that, but overly doing it is a problem with me. I don't like that. Like, I don't mind it, but you don't have to overdo it. You don't have to do the same design over and over again. You see Sunburger? You see her design? Bro, overdoing it. Unnecessary. And I really was gonna pull for Remio. Remio, she's gonna pop up on the screen. I don't know how to pronounce it. That's how out of touch I've been with zenlesszonezero. Only character that I even like summon, Velina Velina, whatever how you pronounce her name. She's gonna pop up on the screen too. However you pronounce it, I don't know, but you know who I'm talking about. I'm over her. I really, enjoyed the gameplay and stuff like that, but I don't think I can continue because these gacha games as a whole, they have it to where like you're playing the game for like hours with it just makes it feel like a chore. It feels like a job. It doesn't feel like an actual game at that point. Also, yes, the meta system, like as far as certain characters being popular, certain, kits, certain roles, especially DPSs, having to figure out what character to use all the time, trying to get the next best character, especially if there's not a guarantee you're going to get the character. You got to do all these other events that are drawn out for you to do for the day. And I see why, obviously huge content creators can spend money on it and get the character that they want. To be honest, I don't blame them doing that because that shit, like having to do the events and to be drawn out, it is not really like all that like enjoying. It feels kind of like just taxing, like time taxing. Like it just feels like a waste of time just to get all those, rewards and things like that and pull for a character that you might not even gonna get. That's the shit that it annoyed me the most. It just got to a breaking point, especially me getting older. I'm 22. When I first started doing gacha games, I was 17. I was 17. At the time it felt enjoyable to me to play a game for hours and hours like that. But then eventually got to a point I'm like, I am a human. I am a person. I got other shit to do other than this game. You know? And it's not even just that, like there's certain games I can binge for, and play for hours and enjoy it. But for some reason, I don't enjoy it with these gacha games. It just feels like a job. It feels like something that I'm barely getting that much of a reward from. And that's another thing that I wanted to mention too. And also having to get characters constantly worry about that just for the character to either, you know, be dog shit later, don't really have much value later. Even though you see some games that try to bring up the value in the character, it's just too much. I see zenlesszonezero, they do it, like Jane Doe, Jingyi, past characters from 1.0 and things, most likely 2.0, update their kits, give them things where they can, boost up their power, stuff like that, and their numbers. But it don't matter. It just becomes too much to be doing all that shit, and then feel you need to get the character because it's the next best character. I'm done with that shit. It's just become too much. Now, if they can make a gacha game that is enjoyable, that they actually care about the value of the character or the value of the people that are pulling for the characters and things like that, let me know. But other than that, I'm quitting gacha games. Period. So, in all conclusion, I will be quitting gacha games on this channel and even outside of this channel, outside of my real life. I am quitting gacha games as well, along with NTE Neverness to Everness. I'll also be quitting that one too. And I was gonna pull for Eroy. But I'm starting to have a change of heart and things like that. I might just go ahead and delete it. I still have it, in my PC right now. Um I might actually just get rid of it as a whole. I was thinking about pulling her, then deleting the game, but honestly, it's I don't feel like it. Like I have zero motivations for gacha games at this point. Like it's getting ridiculous. Like even if the game, it gives you the guarantee for the character, it's just I don't know, it just feels redundant to me. And I'm starting to see people who do complain about like gacha games using the same formula, kind of like Genshin Impact's formula, things like that. Now whether how Genshin Impact got their formula first, I don't know, but a lot of people do compare, Genshin Impact formula to other newer games now. So we're gonna leave it at that. Hey, just you can let me know nicely, politely, if that formula came from another game previously before, you know, Genshin Impact came out. Hey, whatever. This channel moving forward will be indie games, variety gaming that I've been already doing, but the gacha games are out the picture. I don't care if there's a new gacha game, stuff like that. A gacha game has to be real good for me to change my mind. It's not these current ones right now, but if it's a new one, it will have to give me to change my mind significantly to give it another try on this channel and outside of my general life, because I feel like I'll be sitting here, you know, playing a gacha game for hours, and I barely have time to edit my videos. I barely have time to edit, you know, or play the indie games, the other games that I really want to play with, and then I'm just busy trying to edit this shit out. I can't do it no more. I just can't. This channel is just strictly variety gaming, indie games, popular games that are actually enjoyable, that don't make you feel like it's a chore, that feels like a job, something that actually has depth to it. You made it this far. Thank you so much. Making sure like and subscribe. And yet again, I'm gonna let you know, I'm a variety channel, variety gamer. So you'll be seeing a lot of different games to be playing. You know, my shorts, my videos, and things like that. And have a good day. Have a good night wherever you're at in the world. Peace.